Alright, what's up guys? Welcome back to another homework video. Today we're going to be going over homework number 13. So you've been getting a lot of multiple choice quizzes over the last couple weeks, but this time we're back to kind of a more simple exercise. You don't even have to create a class really. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how I solved this. And I just want to say that there are simpler ways of doing this. I talked to some of the kids in my class and they said that they use something called Splitter in order to do it way easier, and I said that's absolutely fantastic. Dr. Neat and I, of course, encourage you to, look stuff up, come up with other ways to do this, and so if you have another way to solve the problem, that's great, but I'm going to stick with what's in the textbook so that you guys all understand what I'm talking about. But if you use some other method to do this besides like Easy Reader and indexOf, oops, sorry about that, that's also perfect, and, kudos to you. So I'm going to go ahead and jump right into it. So your prompt was to just have someone enter a sentence and then tell them how many words are in the sentence. So the first thing you have to do, obviously, is tell the user to input a sentence and then create an easy reader and have it. So this is maybe an easy reader method you haven't used much of. It's read lines versus read word, right? So that reads the entire line, so that way it doesn't cut off after the first word, which would mean obviously that our method doesn't work. So hopefully you're able to figure out read line instead of read word. And then we have this counter variable and we set it to 1. And then this is probably the most important part here. This is the, hold on one second. This is the, like this kind of, I guess, iterator here. So while sentence.indexOf and sentences are whatever the user puts in, so of space, right? So this is not nothing because I had this space here. If I put it like this, then it means nothing, but I have a space, and so that means that it's looking for spaces basically. So while it's not -1, or basically while there are still spaces in the sentence, first thing we're going to do is add 1 to count, say, hey, we found a space, and then we're going to reassign sentence to sentence.substring of sentence.indexOf space plus 1. So there's a lot going on in this line. Let me kind of break it down for you. So we're reassigning sentence. So sentence first time through is just whatever the user puts in. Next thing we're doing is that we go into this while loop and then we say sentence.substring. So substring, for the most part, the way you guys have been using it, has 2 parameters, but you can also do substring with just 1 parameter. So this whole thing here, because this returns a number, this is just 1 parameter. And what that does is it goes to this number, because indexOf returns a number, and then it goes to the end of the string. So like we're starting from whatever this number is and then going to the end of the string. So that's what we're basically cutting off part of sentence. And then the part of sentence that we're cutting off is wherever the space is plus 1, because if you just do indexOf space, right? So we find the space and then we want to add 1, so we want to go to the next letter. Because otherwise it finds the same space over and over and over again, and then this while loop will never end. So whenever it can't find any more spaces, we get out of the while loop, and then we print out it has this many words in it. So we're counting the spaces, right? So how does that relate to how many words in it? Well, every word is separated by spaces, right? You have to have, oops, that's spelled wrong. Every word has to have, it's separated by spaces. That's what makes it a word. Like this, if I do this here, words in is now 1 word technically, right? So we're counting the spaces, but then why set count to 1? Because if you don't, we're counting the spaces, and there's always 1 less space than there are total words in the sentence. Because the way that this is run, we're not really counting this word here, because so like we find this space and then we cut out this part of the sentence, and then we keep counting. So it ends up being 1 less, so you just set it to 1 instead of 0, and then it works. So let me show you what I mean. So I have this commented out. I'll run it first the way that it is with that commented out, and then I'll show you, so it'll make it kind of easier to understand what's going on. We'll just say, hello, my name is, there you go. So it says 5 words in it. 1, 2, 4, 5. Yep, that's correct. So let me show you what's going on here. So if we uncomment out this sentence, save, and then we'll compile and run. We'll do same sentence. My name is Charlotte. So, like I said, so this is the first sentence. next time we go through, so it cuts out the hello, and then my name is Charlotte, cuts out the next word, and then so the next time it runs through this while loop, right, it says, oh, there's no spaces in just this. So then it goes out of the while loop and gives us counter, which is 5, because we added 1 to it originally because we set it to 1. So hopefully I explained that well. Hopefully that makes sense. This wasn't a particularly difficult homework assignment is what I seem to understand from the other kids in my period. But if you did have trouble with it, hopefully this cleared some things up for you. This was really about substring and indexOf. Just getting more comfortable with those methods, because that's kind of what we've been learning over the past couple weeks anyway. So yeah, hopefully that makes sense, and we'll see you next week. And as always, if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments.